The question is in regards to my parents' financial troubles. My dad is a blue-collar worker making about $40,000 per year, and my mom doesn't work. They had to file Chapter 13 bankruptcy about 7 years ago, but are back in debt. He owes about $16,000 in credit card and medical bills, and it's upside down on a mortgage of $60,000 for a home that is worth $30,000. Currently, they are staying afloat as we have provided an old car and pay for cell phones and emergency repairs. We intend to help financially support them when he can no longer work, but would like to limit that debt when the time comes. We thought about paying for the $16,000 to help clean the slate, but worry the debts will reaccumulate. We don't want, nor do they want us to manage their finances. Is it feasible to just let him continue as he's doing and file for bankruptcy when he can't work anymore? We can then help with housing and filling in gaps, just trying to ensure our financial futures while anticipating what help they will need.
Okay, well, this is a complex one. This is the one that I named the podcast after, Drawing Boundaries, Setting Boundaries. Sarah, your parents filed Chapter 13, but they're back in debt. This is the usual story, actually. Most people that get into debt problem don't actually change their behavior. They didn't get into debt because they can't do math. It's not a math problem. It's a behavioral problem. They can't control their spending. They can't live within their means, etc. They don't know how to manage money, and that's why they're back in debt. When you're upside down in your mortgage and you have credit card debt, etc., things are not going well, obviously. And I can understand why you would want to help them. But what you need to keep in mind is how you help them, because you can certainly make things worse. I have no doubt in my mind that they can not only spend their entire income, but they can also spend your entire income. And so you need to be setting boundaries of what you're going to do. Yes, they don't want to let you into their finances. You can understand that, right? Would you want someone into your finances? Of course not. But if they want to be getting help from you, they have to follow your rules. And the goal here is for you to set rules that are actually going to help them. Okay, if they're going to manage money like a teenager, then they have to be treated like a teenager. If I'm going to be giving somebody money, regularly supporting them, you better believe I'm going to have my nose in their finances. I'm not going to be giving them money so they can go, and I'm not saying your parents are doing this, so they can go spend it on cocaine or a gambling addiction or whatever else, right? And you're not going to either. And so likewise, you're not going to give your money to them so they can just blow it by not managing money properly. And so it's completely understandable for you to put some rules in place, some conditions on the help that you provide to them. The good news is it sounds like you can afford to help. But you want to be helping more than just writing endless checks and writing, with no accountability whatsoever, because that is not going to help them do any better. Now, there's an old saying that says you can't teach an old dog new tricks, right? And maybe you can't get your parents spending under control. Maybe they are going to spend everything they have and be completely dependent on you and Social Security. That's entirely possible. But it's up to you to set the boundaries and to be appropriate with the help you give. And of course, don't give more than you can afford to give. That's probably a substantial amount for a typical physician couple. But at the same time, you also need to make sure you're taking care of business, that you're taking care of your own retirement, that you're taking care of your own necessary insurance, that you're taking care of your kids' college savings, and reaching your own financial goals, and that the money you're using to help is coming from elsewhere in the budget. Perhaps you vacation less so you can help your parents more. If you want your questions answered by the White Coat Investor, record your question at whitecoatinvestor.com/YQA or click the link in the description.
My dad, your host, Dr. Dolly, is a practicing emergency physician, blogger, author, and podcaster. He is not a licensed accountant, attorney, or financial advisor, so this podcast is for your entertainment and information only and should not be considered official, personalized financial advice.